Well, folks, good afternoon. I just received a brief from Governor Cooper and FEMA Director Criswell and his staff, and to provide me with a first-hand account of the historic impacts of Hurricane Helene. I want to express condolences to all the families whose loved ones have died or are missing. Matter of fact, it's almost equally as bad missing, not knowing whether or not your brother, sister, husband, wife, son, daughter are alive. And we all know that a lot of us have experienced that, and we understand what you're going through. And to the survivors, I want you to know the administration is going to be there, and we just talked about this, until we finish the job. It's going to take a hell of a long time and a serious amount of assets. With federal support, the state has reopened 220 roads, which are going to help responders reach people and get the support they need quickly. Right now, thousands of federal personnel are deployed in your communities, supporting search and rescue, debris removal, power restoration, and getting cell networks back online so folks can connect to their loved ones. We deployed 30 Starlink receivers, and we're 10 more on the way to Western North Carolina. And FEMA's on the ground supporting the communities and registering people for disaster assistance. And talking to the governor, it's going to take a while, right, Gov? It's going to be a long time. And there are thousands of line workers working around the clock to help get power back up in North Carolina. Additionally, Governor Cooper and I have spoken about my traveling to North Carolina and to survey the damage as soon as I can without taking resources or diverting resources on the ground. And we're going to stay as long as it takes when we get this thing going. But I'm going to North Carolina on Wednesday, it's planned now. We're going to be landing in Raleigh for a briefing with the Emergency Operations Center, and I'll then do an aerial tour of Asheville. It's too much for me in terms of interrupting access to help there to land and to survey the damage other through the air. And then it's my plan to travel to Georgia and Florida as soon as possible after that. And I don't know, Governor, you want to add anything?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. We appreciate the resources that are coming our way. This has been a devastating storm, as you know, and we're grateful to have had Administrator Criswell here on the ground all day today, and she's going to be staying and making sure we surge assets into the area to get people food and water and to get the power back on. And obviously, we are grateful for the search and rescue teams as well. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Any questions on this issue?
Sir, is it your sense from the governors you've spoken to that they have all the resources they need right now, or are there things they need immediately?
They need things immediately. They're getting them immediately. Some access, it's a matter to get access to the people who need them. And so that's why we're talking about land bridges, to be able to get the Defense Department in there, to get water, for example, from a place that, in fact, they can't get to because the roads are gone, the roads are closed. We've contacted we have the Defense Department agreeing that they're providing for helicopters from the base there to get as much in as we can. It's going to take a long time, but Gov, what am I leaving out that you need?
We've talked about a lot of resources that we need, medical, making sure that we are getting additional helicopters for land bridges, search and rescue. All of those things are happening now. We just know that the commodities are going to have to continue in for weeks because, for example, Asheville, the largest city here, and that supplies a lot of the water, their water system is completely down. So getting water in here on a sustained basis is going to be critical, and we are discussing the strategies to continue those efforts and to surge those efforts.
Mr. President and Governor Cooper, Donald Trump has accused both of you of ignoring the disaster.
He is lying. Let me get this straight. He's lying. And the governor told him he was lying. The governor told me he was lying. I've spoken to the governor, spending time with him, and he told me he's lying. I don't know why he does this. And the reason I get so angry about it, I don't care about what he says about me, but I care what he communicates to the people that are in need. He implies that we're not doing everything possible. We are. And you spoke to the governor, I assume you heard the Republican governor of Georgia talk about that he was on the phone with me more than once. So that's simply not true, and it's irresponsible. I don't know what the governor wants to say about it. Let me tell you what I
Mr. President, in retrospect, do you wish that you had put more resources in North Carolina, knowing what you know now? And do you wish that you spent the weekend here in Washington rather than in Delaware?
Come on, stop that game, will you? Rather than Delaware, it's 90 miles from here, okay? I was on the phone the whole time working on that. And the resources, the question is not whether we get more, this is a list of every resource we're getting in there, but the question is how to get it in. It's hard to get it from point A to point B. It's hard to get it if some of these roads are wiped out, communities are wiped out. There's no ability to land, there's no ability to get trucks through, there's no ability to get a whole range of things through. So, I mean, anyway.
Mr. President,
When I sound frustrated, I am.
can you talk a little bit about the death toll? We were speaking in the briefing today about it could be as much as 600, maybe 700. That's such a huge number for the United States of America.
Well, first of all, the death toll, the confirmed death toll is high enough, well over 100. Okay? There are roughly, correct me if I'm wrong, Gov or Deanne, but there are about 600 people still unaccounted for, if I'm not mistaken. Is that about right?
Well, we know, Mr. President, because cell phone service is down,
Yes.
that there are a lot of people who haven't been able to get in touch with them. But what's happening now, and we're getting assistance from you to coordinate even more efforts, is we're doing door-to-door welfare checks on people to make sure that they are accounted for. We know there will be more deaths because this was an unprecedented, devastating storm that was something that people in North Carolina, in Western North Carolina, have never seen before. So we are working as hard as we can to get in touch with everybody and to make sure that we are telling relatives that people are safe, and also making sure that search and rescue, because we have rivers that are still rising. The danger is still occurring for a lot of people.
And by the way, as the FEMA can tell you, they had prepositioned an awful lot of material throughout that area, from the Bend all the way up into Tennessee. And so the idea that we weren't prepared, the question is, no one knew exactly how devastating it would be. We knew it would be significant, and we've got a lot already in place, but there's more. But here's the point. I'm going to be asking the American people to continue to help fund the needs of these people. It's not going to be one hit and it's over. This is going to take a hell of a long time. It's going to cost a hell of a lot of money. But this is the United States of America, and we've got to do it.
Sir, what can Americans do right now? Sir, Americans that want to help, what can they do right now to help? If people want to help, what can they do?
You guys, the president is still taking questions. Go ahead, sir.
If people want to help, there's means by which they can contact, who should they contact?
The American Red Cross.
Contact the American Red Cross and
It's
get
an
as much,
excellent way
they'll
of
get
contributing,
information.
which works very closely with FEMA.
And by the way, as the governor said, we're working on making sure that the hospitals are up and running and they have the capacity to deal with the concerns of people and the needs. So there's just a lot to do, and this is just beginning. And we've been through this before, but not like this. This is the worst ever.
Is this a consequence of climate change?
Absolutely, positively, unequivocally. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you.
Mr. President, when you put out speakers,
Thanks, everyone. We're